It's Madden NFL 24. And at center stage, it's the Raiders' leader at quarterback. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Raiders and the Steelers on Monday Night Prime Time.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Today, we'll with so much history, so much tradition, getting set to do battle here, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in just in an absolute free fall, losers of 7 in a row.
And this is where you turn to your best players and look at them and say, can you guide us out of this? We've got to be better than what we've shown.
And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question, because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll give up the middle to Kelly. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. It'll go in the book. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly, meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance?
Under pressure, and they got to him again. And that'll bring up fourth down on a big sack with a loss of 5. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
The Steelers send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is fielded at the 27. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Raiders at 13-2 on the year. And I tell you, it has been a few months now since they've tasted defeat, and they are without question the hottest team in football.
And I'm really not sure who's going to beat them right now, because to me, they have to be the favorites to go all the way, because they're not just beating teams, they're dominating them. It's been fun to watch them play, not just in their winning, but how they're getting it done.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Sharp. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And this is good. He was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that. Only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
And bulldozing his way through. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Throwing on 1st down. Parks. Incomplete. You look at this Raiders defense. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game is sky high. In fact, you'd absolutely be stunned to come away with a loss.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Parks. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And one of the key numbers that I look at after every game, total yards allowed. They held them under 200 yards of total offense. Just couldn't sustain much of anything against them. Great job showing them different.
And the Raiders have got him. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
The Steelers send out their punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. And taken right at the 35. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They would love to hold on to that, but obviously first things first. They want to clinch the division.
And that's what everyone plays for. Win your division first, guarantees your spot in the playoffs. But still, a nice spot to be in. Not as good as it was when the number 2 seed meant a first-round bye. That's all changed with the new playoff system. But still, a nice spot to be in.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Now 3rd down and 7. Now a handoff up the middle. Lucas. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. The loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the 1st quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down and 8. Off play action. Parks. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Raiders will have a shot. with as they take over. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Right back to him on first down. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Lucas. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, that's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Let's go now.
Off the option, he'll try and run with it. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. They go I formation, fullback leads the way for the touchdown. Sort of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is, but sometimes when you're able to bring it back and use it against other teams, they're not prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and now you gain an advantage, and we just saw that advantage result in a touchdown.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Parks. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On second down, Carrington. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And the Steelers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Parks. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fielded just inside the 30. Oh, now a hit and a loose football. On one of the His guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Up the middle they go. It's Lucas. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Looking to throw. Sharp, flushed out right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I thought at first he'd try to run, but he just kept buying time to his right. Finally, nothing there. He wisely gets rid of it.
2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Lucas. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Here is 3rd down and 4. And it'll find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a 7-yard gain there that's good enough to move the chains.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline. But what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Back to throw. Sharp. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Here's 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Sharp. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Them a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack. And you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line. And he's able to take it into the end zone.
Carlson on for the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Parks. His throw incomplete. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around. Not having that success, might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get it back in form.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wheeler. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Pulled in at the 24. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Sharp. He finds his man. Complete. That's Lucas. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
On 3rd down. Sharp. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Let's go now.
Back to throw again. He finds his man. Complete. It's Lucas. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders continue to pull away here in this first half. But go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And now out come the Steelers. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Second down and inches. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. On 1st and 10, Parks. He finds his man, complete. It's Burgess. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Again, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Burgess. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 38-yard line. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Back to throw. Parks. He finds his man, complete. That's Wheeler. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
He's going to throw one up for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where you see the final score there. Kenny Pickett, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paycor Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Joe Burrow, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Playoff picture here, and you see they've got that number 2 spot right now. Obviously a lot to like about that and where they're at in this home stretch of the season. But that first-round home game is not guaranteed, Charles, until they lock up their division.
Bottom line, win the division, stay number 2. You get a favorable game at home to begin what you hope will be a nice postseason run.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On second down now. It's Lucas. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Third and 12. Looking to throw. Sharp. Eluding the pressure right. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his fourth down call.
Here's the Raiders punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
But they certainly got dented with that first down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
From the 22 now, here's the second down and 6. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And the Raiders have got him. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. The Steelers send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he'll take it just outside the 40. For a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the 3rd, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On second down, it's Lucas. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 119 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Carlson now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll be backed up a bit to start as he's out of bounds at the 16. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
To throw on third down. Parks. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down. And that CD,
that's also made him a great pass rusher as well.
The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both
and this is caught. Touchdown Raiders. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground. Carrington. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, They go back to their huddle with a little pep in their step.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
136 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
Off the RPO, he completes it. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Lucas. And this is going to be a Raiders 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Back to throw. Sharp. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage. They are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Lucas. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. With touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Raiders extend their fourth quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And the Steelers set to take the field. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. 7 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Operating from the gun, Parks. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby, his 2nd sack of the night.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Looking to throw. Parks. He finds his man. Complete. That's Wheeler. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. That's to the Notre Dame man, Michael Mayer. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On 2nd down now. It's Lucas. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Oh, and that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now a handoff up the middle. Lucas. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Back to throw. Sharp. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Up the middle they go. It's Lucas. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 190 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A game. and 1. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided.
Let's go now, let's go. Got this. He's got this.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Raiders, they improved to 14-2 with still 1 game left to be played in this regular season. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.